Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business and the Sillyville editions. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you would like to catch the show live. Well, we do have an update. It turns out that I am fake news because the information was out there wrong. It's not a SpaceX satellite that's going to be polluting the moon before we even colonize it. It's a Chinese rocket, so blame the Chinese because they're the ones now polluting the moon. So SpaceX is now off the hook. Okay, I will take back my bad comments about SpaceX polluting the moon before we even get there, and it's China. And of course, all I have to say about that is they are just sending supplies to the secret Nazi colony on the dark side of the moon. And you can watch, was it the movie Dark Skies, I think, that talked about that Nazi colony back there? But anyway, let's move on. Google is wanting to stop some of this e-waste. This is actually, in a way, a good thing, in that it will introduce people to a means to revitalize a computer with another operating system. And this can only mean Linux will start automatically finding its way up in the search algorithms as people hear about this and start looking it up. Of course, ChromeOS is based on a Linux kernel, but I wouldn't specifically call it Linux because it's so heavily modified and Googled. But what they're doing is ChromeOS Flex turns an old PC into a Chromebook for free. The idea is you can come in here and in an old Windows and old Mac, instead of throwing it away, you can convert this into a Chromebook, thus saving some waste, giving you an extra device. As of right now, you would have to go in and give Google a bunch of your private information in order to get information on downloading the ISO. So I'm not going to do that anytime soon, unless I do it through some proxy setup, Tor, and all sorts of other fun stuff like that. But anyway, they are looking at helping revitalize old PCs. This can be a good thing for Linux. So as frightening as Google is, I'm going to say, hey, this is actually a good plan. It saves on some e-waste. There was a little scandal with Newegg, and unfortunately it came to light with Gamers Nexus. So if you follow Gamers Nexus, you probably have already seen this. The brief summary is that he had ordered a motherboard that was refurbished, never even opened the box, sent it back. Newegg claimed they damaged it, despite they had plenty of evidence that it was never actually opened. They got it shipped back to them, so they opened the box up on camera, and they saw a sticker where it was a damaged product. It was sent back to Newegg. Newegg sent it back to, I think it was an AMD board. AMD said that this would cost $100 to fix. Newegg did not want to pay $100, so AMD put a sticker on it such as that, sent it back to Newegg, and Newegg sold it as a refurbished product. And then they were giving a lot of people the problem with refunding products. So now they're like, uh-oh, and they're going to start refunding pretty much everybody. So if you've had a bad experience from Newegg recently, try reaching out to them and be like, yeah, you need to take this crap back. And maybe this is a warning. Maybe Newegg may not be the best place to get some of these parts from. I don't know. I haven't used Newegg in years. You guys let me know in the comments if it's still worth using to get PC parts or not. But they got themselves in a little scandal, and then they end up getting caught with their pants down to one of the biggest tech channels out there. Ouch. Something's gotta hurt. Let's go on to USA Today. Disney, you guys remember the old company stores? Sold my soul to the company store, old song, right? Well, now Disney is coming up with master plan communities to be part of Disney all the time. So this is called the Story Living by Disney. So you can actually go and live in a neighborhood that is owned and created by Disney. Basically, you're going and living in another company-owned community. This is this giant push towards, once a long time ago, we had all these company stores, these company towns that would crop up, and they ended up being seriously abusive. And so they went out of favor and all closed down and turned into ghost towns and whatnot. A few of them, I was actually in some recently. I was actually camping one a few weeks ago or a few days ago that was one of these towns that actually converted into a standard town and survived, which was very interesting. Now we're moving back. We first reported on this type of thing with, I think it was actually Tesla or somebody or a company connected to Elon Musk creating a company city outside of Sparks, Nevada. And now we get Disney coming up. So would you guys move into a land owned and controlled by Disney to be part of the Story Living by Disney, which they say will be part of the same division that oversees the theme parks, Disney Cruise Line, and other experiences? First community, which will be known as Cotino, will include 1,900 housing units, will be in the Palm Springs city of Rancho Mirage, California. Very close to Slab City, by the way, if you want to go live by some crazy anarchists. There is incredible demand for all these things. Disney, our fans continue to look for new ways to engage with us to keep Disney as part of their lives. No, guys, you should be running as far as possible from Disney. This is not a good company. This is one of the companies that is completely destroying. It is Disney who is completely making copyright unmanageable in the United States. They are behind it. This is a company that is consolidating and buying everything. This is the company that is introducing wokeness. Guys, when you have Snow White, which the line in Snow White is her skin was white as snow, and you recast it with somebody without white skin, we got problems, okay? That's what Disney is doing. And you want to live in a community owned by them? No, bro. No. Well, on to yes. Steam Deck, Steam Deck will have official replacement parts. They have videos about how to take it apart. iFixit will be the first of the authorized dealers to buy parts. So if you are getting a Steam Deck and you need a part replaced, you can get instructions and official parts from iFixit. So this is really good news for you guys on the gaming front. Is a Steam Deck worth getting? That's a fun question. I don't know. Guys, let me know in the comments. Should I get a Steam Deck? I'm not a gamer, but might be fun to play with it and do other things with it. That'd be neat. And on to our feature story. Well, it turns out that all of these web browsers are going to be crossing version 100. And like the old Y2K bug and like the old reason why we never got Windows 9 is because the programmers aren't really sure what exactly is going to happen when the browser reports back version 100. Like, you would figure that in the last few years, as they progress from like Mozilla 2 to Mozilla 97, they might have asked this question a little bit earlier, but apparently when the browser engine reports back the version of the browser here, where you can kind of see this line here, Firefox Mozilla 5.0, Macintosh, Intel Mac OS 10, Rev 96.0, Gecko Firefox 96.0. Well, when this rolls over to a 3-digit number, nobody's quite sure exactly what's going to happen. We get another Y2K. So I call it the BV100. Basically, these are, I have not seen this much creativity since I made sugar cookies decorated as browsers. That's how creative I used to be on my thumbnails. I mean, really. But actually what happened is back in August of 2021, Mozilla started an experiment to find out if 3-digit versions could cause issues, and actually found out that some websites actually do have issues, such that Google and Mozilla are actually keeping logs of websites that are broken on version 100 switch, and hopefully working with the developers of those sites. It's like Yahoo. Yahoo does not work when your browser is reporting version 100. Bethesda, HBO Go, Slack, and a bunch more. Google has an ongoing effort list showing that allows developers to force the 100 user agent string for testing purposes. So if you want to know if your website supports the version 100, you could go ahead and head on over there. But that's exciting. See what happens to the internet when all these web browsers cross version 100. Well, you can help support the channel with our affiliates. Today we are highlighting Linode, tlm.li/Linode. You can get $100 in credit, good for 60 days to spin up as many VMs as you would like. Test around with VPNs, Plex servers, Jellyfins, all sorts of other fun servers out there that you can use. Nextcloud, all sorts of other fun stuff. But anyway, you can have a look over there, tlm.li/Linode. Well, guys, let's go to Sillyville. First up in Sillyville, I almost threw this article out, but then I had to see the next article, and I had to include them together as a pair. So an IBM executive calls the older workers Dinobabies who should go extinct, according to an ageist lawsuit. And so IBM has been known for this. This is nothing new. But yeah, they're pretty much like, oh, you're so old, you boomer. You get all this kind of stuff. Speaking of boomers, though, if you guys remember, there was a hack. We talked about it on the channel where it wasn't a hack. It was a data breach where the Missouri public school systems, you could find financial and other important information on a teacher by entering random strings into the URL. And somebody found this by simply inspecting the code of the site, which you can do with any browser by pushing usually the F12 button and going in and sourcing it. Well, the Missouri governor, boomer, goes in like, we're going to prosecute you for hacking. He's like, I didn't hack it. I just viewed the source. You're doing stuff with code. You're hacking it. Finally, somebody knocks some sense into this boomer moron, and he is no longer going to be pressing charges against the journalist for hacking the website. Because literally, I mean, you could do this by right-clicking. You guys can't see, but if I hit the page source, I just hacked the website. Oh, my Lord. That's basically all he did. And this told him, he looked at the JavaScript like, oh, this is just calling a random string of numbers. What if I enter other random string of numbers? If you landed on a right one, because social security numbers are very easy to detect, they're all 9-digit, and they're very predictable for the year. They generally all start with the same few 3 or 5 digits. And so just by entering in some random stuff, you could get a lot of information about people. And so, yeah. So he called them out, said, hey, this is a problem. And they're like, you're going to jail for hacking. Like, I didn't hack anything. So yeah, I had to include the ageism because maybe ageism is a good thing. When you're a boomer and you don't know the difference between hacking and inspecting code, you don't need to be holding a public office. All right, well, a Russian teenager landed 5-year jail sentence for plotting up to blow up a building in Minecraft. It's Russia, so it does go a little bit deeper than that. Basically, you had you had 3 teenagers. They were 14-year-olds at the time. They were calling out the Federal Security Services building. Basically, they hung leaflets on the real building, calling the agency terrorist. And they praised an anarchist mathematician who went to jail for hooliganism. I don't really want to go to jail, but if I were to go to jail for anything, I would want to go to jail for hooliganism. That just sounds fun. Comment below if you'd like to go to jail for hooliganism. I'm not sure about Russia. Maybe one of these white collar prisons over here in America, but okay, so the FSB searched the kids' phones. Well, that was a brilliant idea. 14-year-olds posting to buildings on the local security agency, calling them terrorists. What, do you think they're not going to look at your phones? After looking at the phones, they found videos of them making pyrotechnics and throwing Molotov cocktails against a random wall, not the FSC building wall. But then there was evidence of a plot to blow up a virtual representation of the building they had created in Minecraft. So they went into Minecraft, they created a version of the building, and they had plans to blow up the building in Minecraft. 2 of them, after being arrested, 2 of them confessed to their crimes of planning to blow up a building in Minecraft, and the other one's like, no, I didn't do it. And of course, that guy basically was sent to the gulag, where they're like basically torturing him until he confesses to it in the penal colony. He eventually was sentenced to 5 years in prison for plotting to blow up a building in Minecraft. All right, we are getting into a strange world. Speaking of strange world, Opera now supports emoji-based web addresses. I just want to know where I could get my pregnant man emoji website or something. I don't know. Brain thumbs up money, I guess. I don't know. So we are now living in the world where you can go to a website based on emojis. Like, wow. That's all I have to say. Wow. So I guess the less we can say about emoji stuff, probably the better. Well, the police show up to his Twitch streamer's house after they heard him crying for help through an open window. He's playing Apex Legends. He's online. He's got his headset on. He's calling for his gamer buddies to come help him. So he's yelling help, yelling help, yelling help. The window's open. The police bust in. We're here to help. They were all cool about it. The police waved to everybody on the stream. He was, by the way, streaming. He wasn't just playing the game. He was actually streaming. And he actually said he was yelling for help the way he was to stir up some drama for his Twitch stream. The police show up on camera. He's like, hey guys, it was all good and friendly. And they advised him, next time you're yelling for help, please close your window. But anyway, this ended up being pretty good. And if you want to know what is behind that crazy title, you can probably guess, but Baby Shark is getting a full-length movie. So bad movie do, bad movie do, bad movie do. I have no earthly idea how in the world you're going to make a full-length film out of Baby Shark. But Baby Shark, of course, is notable because it is now the most viewed YouTube video ever, crossing, was it the 10 billion or 10 million, 10 billion, whatever it was. It happened to cross the most popular YouTube video, crossed the 10 billion view mark. That guy who did the Gangnam Style's all bummed out. It's like, I did the Gangnam Style, went all over the world, and Baby Shark beats me. Of course, maybe this was because people were blasting Baby Shark to get homeless people leaving. And I know Baby Shark was playing at one of the protests in Ottawa. Does anybody know, was that protesters playing it for the kids that were there, or was that the government playing Baby Shark to get the protesters to leave? I don't know. One of the live streams that I was watching on the Ottawa situation, Baby Shark was indeed playing in the background. There have been a few other films out there on Baby Shark, but this will be the first time that it is a full-length movie. So my deepest consolidations to all of you parents out there who are going to have to drag your children, as if 2 minutes and 16 seconds was not enough Baby Shark. Now you guys are going to go see a full-length movie with your little tykes. Well, guys, that sounds frightening. Yeah, you can help support the channel over on Patreon, patreon.com/TOMM. That will help support the various channels. So thanks for coming along, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.
Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.